Bonjour everyone, my name is Chimoma Greatness December Banda, coming from 10B class, and I am here with a presentation in additional mathematics under the topic simultaneous equations. So, our problem for today is solve the simultaneous equation 2y is equal to x plus 10 and 2x squared plus y plus xy minus y squared is equal to negative 16. So, before we go any further, we are first going to identify the linear and the non-linear equation, of which in this case our linear equation is this first equation and the second one is the non-linear equation. Now, to solve this simultaneous equation, we are supposed to get the linear equation and make the variable which has the coefficient of 1 the subject of the formula. So, it will be 2y is equal to x plus 10. 2y, we're going to let 10 cross the equal sign, making it to be negative 10 is equal to x. And this is the same as x is equal to 2y minus 10. At this point of time, we're going to get the non-linear equation and we're going to write first. So it will be 2x squared plus xy minus y squared is equal to negative 16. The second thing we're supposed to do is to get the linear equation that we found and replace it in the non-linear equation. Meaning wherever there is x, we're going to put 2y minus 10. So it will be 2 open bracket 2y minus 10 squared, because the x is also squared, plus 2y minus 10 y minus y squared is equal to negative 16. At this point in time, we're going to solve this equation by starting with the values that are in the brackets. So, we're going to write 2 open bracket, then 2y minus 10 multiplied by 2y minus 10 because it's squared, meaning it's supposed to be multiplied by itself, plus y times 2y will give us 2y squared. Y times negative 10 will give us negative 10y minus y squared is equal to negative 16. Now, we'll bring back the 2 and the brackets. Then we'll do 2y times multiplied by 2y and it will give us 4y squared. We'll do 2y multiplied by negative 10 and it will give us negative 20y. We'll get 10y, negative 10, and multiply it by 2y, which will give us negative 20y again. And negative 10 multiplied by negative 10 will give us positive 100. Then we'll close the brackets and we write this. The second step is we're first going to start by simplifying the things in the brackets before we multiply the 2 by everything in the brackets. And it's going to be 2 open bracket 4y squared. Since these two are like terms, we're going to add them. And don't forget, since they're the same signs, we'll add and maintain the sign, which will be negative 40y plus 100, close brackets. Then we'll bring back that. Now, the second stage is, the other stage is we're going to multiply 2 by everything in the brackets. 2 multiplied by 4y will give us 8y squared. 2 multiplied by negative 40y will give us negative 80y. 2 multiplied by 100 will give us positive 200, and we'll bring back this. At this point, we are going to group the like terms, meaning the variables that are squared are going to be put together, and the variables that are not squared will also be put together, and the constants of the equation will also be put together. So it's going to be 8y squared. The other term that's squared is 2y, so we'll carry it together with the sign, which will be positive 2y squared. Yes, and also negative y squared. Then we're going to go to the non-squared variable, which is negative 80y and negative 10y. Then we'll bring the constant, which is positive 200. Since 16 is also a constant, we're going to let it cross the equal sign so that the whole equation can be equated to 0. And this will make it be positive 16 is equal to 0. At this point, we're now going to simplify this equation. And when we simplify, we're going to end up having 9y squared minus 90y plus 216 is equal to 0. At this point, we have the quadratic equation, but we can't solve it yet because we have to simplify it. And we'll do that by dividing each part by 9, including the 0. And after dividing, we're going to have y squared minus 10y plus 24 is equal to 0. At this point of time, we have a quadratic equation. And there are 4 methods of solving a quadratic equation. The first one being the factorization method, and that's only if the quadratic equation is factorizable. The second one is the quadratic formula. The third one is simplifying. The third one is completing the square method. And the last one is the graphical method. But in this presentation, I'm going to use the quadratic formula, which is y is equal to negative b, positive or negative, or square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. Don't be confused because of the a, b, and c that you're seeing. We're going to get these values from this quadratic equation. So, the a in the quadratic equation is always the coefficient of the squared variable, of which in this case is 1. The b is always the coefficient of the variable that is not squared, of which in this case is negative 10. And the c is always the constant of the equation, which is 24. So we're going to get these numbers and replace them into this formula. It's going to be negative, open bracket, negative 10, positive or negative, square root of negative 10 squared minus 4 multiplied by 1 and multiplied by 24, or divided by 2 multiplied by 1. So at this point, we are going to do negative times negative, which is going to give us positive 10, positive or negative, square root of negative 10 squared will give us 100, minus 4 times 24 is going to give us 96. Yes. Or divided by 2. Yes. Now, when we reach this point, we're going to write this part first. When we reach that point, we are going to do 100 minus 96, which is going to give us 4. So we will write y is equal to 10 positive or negative square root of 4 divided by 2. We're going to find the square root of 4, which is 2. So we will write and put 2. So when we reach this point, we have got 2 operations, which is the addition sign and the subtraction sign. When we reach this point, we are supposed to use both of them to find the value of y, which means in the end we're going to end up having 2 values of y. Yes. So we'll start with the addition sign. So it will be y is equal to 10 plus 2 divided by 2. 10 plus 2 will give you 12. So 12 divided by 2, which will give you 6 as our first value of y. Then the other side, you write y is equal to 10 minus 2 divided by 2. 10 minus 2 will give you 8, and 8 divided by 2 will give you 4, our second value of 2. Then now, since we found the two values of y, we're also supposed to find the values of x. And for us to find the values of x, we are going to use equation 1, which is x is equal to 2y minus 10. 2y minus 10. So we'll use this one to find for the first value of y, which means wherever there is y, we're going to put 6. So it will be 2 times 6 minus 10. Then 2 times 6 will give you 12 minus 10, which will give you 2 as our second value as our first value of x. Then for the second value of y, we're also going to get the same equation. X is equal to 2y minus 10. Yes. Meaning wherever there is y, we're going to put 4, the second value of y. So it will be 2 multiplied by 4 minus 10. 2 times 4 will give you 8 minus 10, which is going to give you negative 2. So at this point, since we have the two values of y and the two values of x, we are going to present our final answer in coordinates. So, final answer will be written as, therefore, you start with the first value of y, which is, you start with the value of x, which is x1, 2. So you write 2 and the first value of y, 6. 2, 6, or the second value of x, which is negative 2, the second value of y, 4. And your answer is done. Thank you.